Welcome to another TSE single slider. Let's talk about how you can optimize payments with financial connections, particularly payments involving a bank account. We'll start by looking at the old, no fun way of doing things, which starts with collecting bank account details like account and routing numbers. Later, when it's time to debit the account, an attempt is made to collect payment. Sometimes this attempt will fail, often because there are insufficient funds in the account, and that often leads to either a failed payment fee or an overdraft fee, which is no fun for anyone. Okay, now let's look at the cool financial connections alternative to this flow, which starts with linking a financial connections account with the payment method and balance permissions. The payment method permission grants the ability to use the financial connections account as a method of payment, and the balance permission provides access to balance information for the account. The financial connections account linking process asks the account holder to log into their bank and grant you access to their account with the requested permissions. When it's time to debit the account, a balance refresh can be triggered, which requests the current balance information from the bank. This process takes a few seconds, and then balance information will be available in a Financial Connections Account Refreshed Balance event and on the Financial Connections account itself when you fetch it from Stripe. You can then examine the balance and determine what to do next. If the available balance is sufficient to cover the payment, the account can be debited successfully. If the balance is not sufficient, a failed payment attempt can be avoided. Instead, the account holder can be contacted with next steps, such as adding funds to their account or providing an alternative method of payment. This example shows how financial connections accounts can be used to avoid fees by checking the balance before attempting a debit. But you can also use financial connections to check other things like the account type, ownership information, and more to further decrease the chance of failed payments. You can also see how this flow helps customers avoid overdrafts, which no one wants to deal with. Customers prefer outreach with next steps versus putting their account in the red. Financial connections also provide additional benefits not shown in this example, including instant account verification, which provides a better experience that will increase conversion and minimize microdeposit hassles. You can also reduce fraud by verifying account ownership with the ownership permission, which gives you access to details like name, address, email, and phone number, so you can make sure the account is owned by the person you think it is. You can also access transactions data with the transactions permission, which allows you to build tools for financial monitoring, financial analysis, financial wellness, and more. To learn how to build the flows shown here and learn more about financial connections, check out our documentation at stripe.com/docs/financial-connections.